Oftentimes in battle rap, we talk about legends and classics, but some of the most historical and compelling material gets swept under the rug as time passes. Now, Peter the Saurus Morris has been battling for so long that a lot of new fans aren't familiar with some of his most classic material. He earned his chops in Oakland, California, battling at Tourette's Without Regrets, where he bodied everybody from Tantrum to Gay Sailor and Jelly Donut. Now, I know y'all thinking, what the fuck, that sounds crazy, but that's not a punchline. That's real fact. Now, that success and internet following bled into battles like Mind Games and Scribble Jam, where Thesaurus became a legend before the advent of the modern day battle league. He created the style hundreds of aspiring battle rappers tried to run with and make their own. Thesaurus opened the door for MCs that weren't from less fortunate backgrounds. Basically, he let them be themselves and gain respect and coexist in a battle rap culture that had the backpack side and the street rap side. His success marks an important turning point in battle rap history. Look at it this way: Thesaurus and Mook are the kings of parallel universes. Two-time world rap champion, two-time Scribble Jam champion, and inspirator who ushered in so much new talent into the game. We give you greatest battles. Thesaurus.
This ain't a hoax or a fluke, it ain't a joke, I'm the truth. Taking over today, I came to show you the proof, so follow close. You're watching every move, I was gonna wait till y'all were ready, but I'm not in any mood. Let's get into it, plans are executed perfectly. Professor prepping students like a test at university.
Number 10, Bender vs. Thesaurus. There are many reasons why a battle could potentially not go down on its scheduled date. Sometimes people get locked up the night before, last-minute family emergencies, or a competitor will even get drunk and is in no condition to do the battle during a ruthless hangover. These rescheduled small-room battles sometimes make for the greatest content. Surf vs. Big T, Ness Lee vs. Illmac, the list of classic venue-swap rap battles goes on and on. For whatever reason, Bender vs. Thesaurus didn't go down at Battle of the Bay 7, so it was rescheduled as not a small-room battle, but a big outside battle of sorts. It's one of the most beautifully filmed battles and takes place at a location in Cali where you can see the Golden Gate Bridge perfectly in the background. The scenery actually set the tone. Beautiful, calm, peaceful, yet dope. It's funny how you wouldn't necessarily describe Thesaurus as a lyricist, but every time he faces a champion pen, he rises to the occasion and fights fire with fire. His second round in this battle is one of the best of his career.
Throwing missiles, homie, I don't miss. Eyes closed, you can show me where the blindfold is. I'll test Big Ben's hands without a time zone switch and start flashing off top like a 5-0's whip. You think a cyclone hit?
Number 9, Thesaurus vs. Topr.
Good Lord, I've got a whole lot of open time and an even more wide open road, full throttle overdrive.
Saurus vs. Topr was booked as part of Counterproductive and Dirtbag Dan's Battle of the Zay imprint, the 7th edition. Topr had experienced success in grind time in the late 2000s, but never broke through as a nationally recognized top-tier name. But this was anticipated due to both battlers' familiarity with each other being staples in the West Coast battle community. The battle being this dope was probably a surprise to the international fan base, but everyone in that room knew what was going to happen. Great crowd, great atmosphere, and amazing reactions by Head Ice give this battle an infinite amount of replay value, as it is definitely one of the best battles of 2017. The greatest part has to be the banter in between lines and the old age jokes. This is a watch that will bring you back to the Fresh Coast glory days.
You're one of the oldest friends I ever had, Topr. Yo, but I don't mean that like we're hella tight. Like, it's more like you're my grandfather. Like when I first came up in the scene, I thought he was someone who could help me learn more. So I asked him about his first tours, and he told me about the First and Second World Wars.
Number 8, Saurus vs. Madness.
The noble way to go, but safe to know your options and evaluate the consequences. Know the numbers always end up in our favor when you calculate the odds against us.
This was the first main event in the history of Grind Time West Coast and helped jump off the legendary Battle of the Bay series. One of the best MCs from Florida, Madness, had beaten Thesaurus earlier in March of the same year when they went face-to-face in the finals of Lounge Battle 6 in Orlando. Thesaurus is one of the most championed and respected battle MCs in the history of California, so it's only right everyone wanted revenge when Lush 1 set up the rematch. This was the battle that proved Saurus was going to continue his reign as the West Coast top dog no matter the format. freestyle or written, a cappella or behind a beat.
I'll expose this faggot hater and his phony Latin flavor. This is the home of Mac Dre, bitch, not the home of Macarena.
Number 7, the Saurus vs. Dirtbag Dan.
Evil eyes and a secret identity, wearing a cheap disguise, but beneath it lies the heart of a beast. Don't get it twisted like Venetian blinds.
Pete vs. Dan was originally scheduled to go down at Grind Time's Massacre of the Bay, or MOB. But due to the venue getting shut down, it was rescheduled and hosted at KOTD's Grand Prix event in 2010. What you guys have to understand is at this time, Dirtbag Dan was one of the most dangerous battle rappers. He was a strategist, hilarious, unpredictable, and gaining a massive amount of crossover fans due to constant exposure on World Star Hip Hop. Truly the first of his kind. The battle kicked off in classic fashion in the first round, as the Saurus was able to seemingly jump out of a body bag by rebuttaling a crowd-pleasing line about his girlfriend. Saurus wasn't known for his rap ability at the time, but he stopped the presses in his third when he spit a crazy double-time flow that nobody had seen coming. Although this may have gotten lost in the annals of time, it's a classic that has Saurus rapping at his best.
I'm killing the same in a million ways and you really ain't able to say shit. You flipping the rhythm is pitiful, man, cause your syllable game is too basic. Primitive cadence versus the person who surely considered the greatest. I was winning the major tournaments while you were earning your minimum wages.
6, the Saurus vs. Real Deal.
I wanted this to be forever, but you took off in a flash and contradicted me.
One of the best battles of Grizzlemania 2 took place when Real Deal finally got a rematch against Saurus after a loss in Scribble Jam 07. It's crazy when you look at the growth that occurred in the battle scene in 3 short years. It seemed like the scene went from everyone adapting the Saurus' style and trying to battle him with it, to things coming full circle and the same MCs coming to their own, only to downplay the Saurus for using the same style. It was a great battle that went down to the wire, but the overtime round had Saurus spitting some great lines about Real Deal being a teacher, bumping the soundtrack to Dangerous Minds with some classic material.
Now Trevor's a teacher, so he starts off every day of his grind, driving to work, bumping the soundtrack to Dangerous Minds.
5, the Saurus vs. Ness Lee.
And the number 1 Colombian coca plants make paper snap and blaze haters faster than Hayes haters packed in a great flavored rap.
Every once in a while, a battle that should have happened at a huge event slips through the cracks and ends up as a small room classic on a small league. This should be on the list of most underrated battles of all time, and it's probably the best one on the iBattle channel, as well as a top 10 battle from 2012. Saurus has never backed down from using controversial lines and had some crazy punches about Ness's house burning down. This is yet another example of Pete stepping his lyrics up when faced with great competition.
See, people didn't think I'd joke about how black Ness really is. I wouldn't do it if he wasn't complaining about his own blackness, but he is. I wanted to slap Ness back to the past tense where he lives, so I map quested his crib and that led to a pile of ash next to a bridge.
Number 4, Justice vs.
my pride. I'm in dire need of having all of my desires freed, entitled to being the final survivor of a dying breed that's passing slowly. If the first to love me is the last to know me, then perhaps I'm only on the path to holy matrimony.
In 2006, the winner of Australia's Battle for Supremacy, Justice beat top competitors in his home country, like Anecdote, for a chance to travel to Cincinnati and take place in one of the biggest MC battle tournaments of all time. Everyone following Scribble Jam knew this was supposed to be the year that Iron Solomon and Thesaurus met in the finals, but Justice was the variable that no one had expected. When him and Saurus met in the semifinals, it went on to become what many people recognize as the best battle in Scribble Jam history. On a freestyle level, the second round was amazing. The crowd gave a standing ovation and people were hugging each other in the background asking for overtime. It was that serious. Anyone who was there that day can co-sign how amazing the battle was. Freestyle at its pinnacle.
Now I'ma start busting the words. This is America, bitch, and here justice is served. That's why I know that I'm the court judge. There ain't no way that you can get up on the mic, make the source budge. You talk shit, I don't think it's working. Australian, a less distinguished version of an English person. Oh God, I guess that means you're just fake British. Now I'm
Number 3, Saurus vs. Illmaculate.
Kind of a big deal, slightly important. Number one out of every 2 time I perform. And that's why I'm recording this new verse I've just shown.
In 05 through 06, the Saurus and Illmaculate took their talents to a worldwide audience and won the World Rap Championships twice. They literally trailblazed the 2-on-2 format and gave birth to many of the next generation star battlers. For years, when you thought of Illmaculate, the next name you said was the Saurus. No one ever thought they were going to battle each other. In the fans' eyes, they were best friends to the end, probably the best man at each other's weddings. After Illmac's Grizzle 1 losses, he had a major point to prove. So Lush 1 somehow got the money together to make the battle go down. No one knew what the line was, as a friend versus friend battle of this magnitude had never happened before. This was the battle that saved Illmac's career and cemented both of their legacies to a new generation that was seeing both rappers for the first time. This is arguably the best battle of the Bay 5. That should tell you what it is. Still one of the top 10 battles ever.
To say you should be ashamed of yourself's accurate. Once one of the best in the game, but he fell back a bit, cause you were only great when I gave you some help, faggot bitch. Change your name from ill to taking an Illmaculate.
2. Dumbfoundead vs. the Saurus.
Got a lot to prove, but there's no man like him. You don't wanna throw hands, you got no chance fighting. One word and my whole camp will go ham slicing.
After only 3 battles, Dumbfoundead was one of the top stars in grind time. The Asian vs. Asian battle with Tantrum, 2-on-2, and Disembodiment of Illusion Z had him slated to become the West Coast's next superstar alongside Disaster. On the other hand, people were poking holes in the Saurus style after his loss to Diz, and the buzz was that his time in battle rap may be up. What was supposed to be a passing of the torch type situation ultimately backfired when the Saurus showed up and smoked Dumbfoundead's boots in 3 rounds. Usually when someone relies on one angle, is looked down upon and seen as a cheap shot. That is, unless the person goes above and beyond creatively, which is exactly what happened when Saurus literally landed every single punchline for 3 straight rounds. The Saurus could have done a stand-up comedy special with all these lines. That's how good they were.
You were greater in the movies, cause nowadays the only thing that Data from the Goonies is making our Suzukis. Bring me a plate of freaking sushi, which would normally be wrong, but I need more to feed upon than your poor Korean mom. I woke up to her pleasuring me orally at dawn, opened both my eyes and shouted, "Good morning, Vietnam!"
Number 1, the Saurus vs. Mac Lethal.
I'm a different kind of dope. You're wondering whether or not I'm even human, or a demon using my powerful evil doing. They see it and they be assuming I can teach it to them. What you need to do is read the blueprint, keep it moving.
DNA vs. Disaster was supposed to be the main event battle of Bowl of 4. The whole battle world was excited for it. It was one of the most hyped matchups ever, but behind the scenes arguments about the rules of the battle ultimately caused it to be cancelled. When something like this happens, it can go one of 2 ways. The battle is a dub, as New Yorkers would say, or something magical happens at the last minute and saves the day. In this case, it was the latter. Legendary Clothing stepped up and asked the Saurus and former Scribble Jam champion recording artist Mac Lethal to battle. Because of their love for the sport, they accepted the match, which everyone was excited for, but deep down we all knew it was going to be a last-minute freestyle showcase. Somehow, some way, both showed up with a seamless mixture of freestyles and writtens and completely flipped every punchline in one another's verse. If you battle rap before, you know how hard it is to come up with angles, let alone trying to do it on 24 hours prep. Multiply that with knowing you have to freestyle and rebuttal constantly and write 3 rounds, it's nearly impossible to do this with conviction and confidence in such a short period of time. But then again, the GOATs are called that for a reason. They create, innovate, constantly push boundaries, and succeed while looking defeat straight in the eyes, and somehow come up with a rebuttal. All I know is that.
Truth is, you were never very sick, so I stepped up in one day to murk you on some legendary shit. It's a cemetery trip, cause that body bag you said that I unzipped told me to put you in it February 5th.
Rap Grid will be featuring 1 MC per week and dropping a Greatest Battles video every Thursday night for the remainder of 2017. For suggestions and feedback, hit us up on social media. Thanks for the support.